Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Read and Reread. I am Angelia, and today I bring to you a preview of my 30 Stories in 30 Days September reading project. If you have been around on the channel for a while, you know that this is a repeat event. This is my third year to do this. If you're new, all will be explained and revealed today. And I apologize in advance if you hear a beeping sound. You already know about the air conditioner, but there's a truck. I can't see it somewhere, either on the street down at the end or back behind where there's a business. There's either a construction or delivery or something, but there's that backing up truck sound keeps coming and going. And it doesn't really, okay, I don't know if those kind of sounds bother people when they're listening. I'm used to city sounds. So, and also from being a teacher and all of the annoying sounds all over the room and in the hallways, like I can just continue on through almost any kinds of annoying sounds, but so hopefully it won't bother you. All right, anyway, so 30 stories in 30 days. What is it? So as we know, September is Shorty September. There's lots of celebrations of reading short fiction, and I love short novels and novellas all the time. But in September, I do my own little spin. I like to focus on short stories. And so what I do is during the month, in amongst other things I'm reading, I do read a lot of short stories from collections and anthologies. And I highlight certain ones by reading one story every day by a different author all through the month. So the first year that I did this, I was really disorganized and I didn't keep any records. I just kind of made them up each week as I went, and it was this rather haphazard affair. So last year I kind of got it together and I had a whole plan. I had the list, I put it out ahead of time, and so I'm doing that again. And also I've taken it a step further this year, and I have tracked down online access to each of the 30 stories. So anyone who wants to join in, there will be a nice shortcut to get to the story. A lot of these are also, I mean, they're all in print, I think, maybe not. A lot of them I have in print in anthologies, especially if they're older. Some of them are newer, and so maybe they're only in this online format. But at any rate, they are all going to be accessible. Today I'm going to quickly go over this year's roster, and in the notes I will include the list that I'm getting ready to share, and also last year's list in case you want to see what the stories were that I shared last year. I don't have any record keeping of the first year. That was just a mess, but I do have last year's list. And what I did last year that worked pretty well is every day I put up a community post with a reminder of that day's story, and that will be a place where I will also put the link. I think I'm also going to put each batch with the links up like in the week ahead, so they're sort of collected, and I don't know if that'll be a community post or a short video. I haven't really decided, but I'm going to make sure that everyone knows what the stories are and can access them if you want to join along and participate. I hope that people will decide to. I hope you'll want to read some of the stories, one of the stories, all of the stories. And if you read some different stories, I'd like to hear what you selected, and we can just talk about all the short stories and share in the joy. So I'm going to go through the stories right now that I've selected for this year, and then I have a couple more thoughts or questions for you at the end that you can tell me about in the comments. These are the 30 stories for 2024, 30 stories in 30 days. Let's roll the list, and I will try to go fast so that this is not an excruciatingly long video. Number 1, Flannery O'Connor, Good Country People. I don't even know if it's in this. I'm just holding this up. This is the Grand Marshal of the parade. It's always the first story. I don't repeat the stories except for this one because it's my favorite short story of all time. Number 2, Edgar Allan Poe, The Telltale Heart. I have not read this story in decades. I included a different Poe story, I think, last year, but this one I realized I have it in so many anthologies, and I've read it, but I have not reread it in many, many years. Number 3, Edward P. Jones, Bad Neighbors. I've read a novel by this author. I've never read this story. Number 4, Irish author Roddy Doyle, Hearing Aids. This is audio. This is new for me. I don't typically listen to audiobooks, but I think I can handle a short story. So there's 3 audio stories in this lineup, and that's something new this year. Number 5, Sarah Gailey with A Lady's Maid. I read their book Upright Women Wanted this year and wanted to read more by this author, and this short story sounds pretty weird, and so I think it'll be fun. Number 6, Naomi Kretzer with her story that just won the Hugo Award for short fiction, Better Living Through Algorithms. So I am assuming that is a science fiction story. I think we're on number 7. Number 7, Hands by Sherwood Anderson, early 20th century classic. I've read it, I can't remember it. Number 8, Phillip K. Dick, We Can Remember It For You, Wholesale. I had to go hunting to find a story by Phillip K. Dick that wasn't too long for this event. This one, I think, is the inspiration for the movie Total Recall, which has been made and remade. I switched some stuff around, so the numbering is kind of confusing here. But I think we're on number 9, A Village After Dark by Kazuo Ishiguro. I've never read any short fiction by Ishiguro. I love his novels. Number 10, Herd Immunity by Flannery. I read her novel for the BookTube Prize a few months ago, The Reformatory. And at the time I thought I'd like to read like a piece of short fiction. So I'm getting a feel that it's going to be a horror story, but I don't know. Number 11, Walter Tevis with Rent Control. He doesn't always write speculative fiction, but this one is, and it's from Omni Magazine, I believe. Michael Clark shared this with me earlier this year, and I loved it, and I wanted to bring it back. Louise Kennedy, this is one of the audio stories. It's called Mad Woman's Milk, another Irish author. Raymond Carver is number 13. Raymond Carver is always in this event. This time I'm going to include one of my favorites. Well, they're all my favorites from him, but it's what we talk about when we talk about love. I love this story so much. Number 14, one of the all-time greats. If you had to make a top 10 list of short stories that everyone needs to read, you would have to put in The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. I haven't put it in. It's gotten to year 3 and I haven't included it. What's wrong with me? So it's in here this year. Number 15, I found a Percival Everett short story. It's called The Appropriation of Cultures. I'm sure we are in for a ride. Number 16, John Cheever, 20th century classic. I was really tempted to put in The Swimmer, but I picked one that I've never read called The Enormous Radio. Number 17, Beth Piatot. This is an Indigenous author. I found out about this author from my friend Melinda at A Web of Stories. I have, let's see, where did I put it? You know what? I have visual aids, and I forgot to hold them up. We have Raymond Carver. Okay, here's Beth Piatot. So the story is in this book, and hopefully I'm going to read a little more of this book during September. And she is an Indigenous author. The story is called, what is it called? Feast Triptych. So I think it's in 3 parts. Haven't read it yet. We're going to find out. But she recommended that book to me months and months and months ago, and I was all excited, and I found a copy, and I bought it. I was like, yay! And then I haven't even opened it. I don't know. I'm going to. All right, number 18 is a story that's from this collection, Ling Ma. The collection is Bliss Montage, but the story is called Office Hours, and it's an odd one. There's some really good stories in this collection. Number 20. All right, this is a story. Now, usually I've heard of the author, but not the story. But in this case, the title of this story really rings a bell, but I've never read it, and I wasn't familiar with the author either. And the story is called The Water That Falls on You from Nowhere by John Shu. And apparently in this story, if you lie, water starts pouring down on you. And it's about a couple that's in the closet, and then they're going to meet some parents, and I don't know. That's all I've heard. It sounds intriguing. Ray Bradbury is number 21 with The Veldt, one of his chilling little ditties. Number 22, Carmen Maria Machado, another repeat offender in my list. And we have A Brief and Fearful Star. I read a dystopian story that she wrote last year that was really good. Number 23, Yi-Yun Lee with House Fire. I have checked out, hold on, let's see. I've checked out this is a glare, but Wednesday's Child. This is a book I want to read. It was one of the Pulitzer finalists, and I heard it was really good. I don't think this is an older story. I don't think this is in this collection, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. No, I don't see it. So House Fire is the story that is in the 30 days, but I might be talking about her more when I read this other book. Number 24, Louise Erdrich with The Red Convertible. I saw and passed on a copy of this anthology in that basement sale the other day because I already had a big stack and it was really big, and I thought, I know I'm going to use this story and it's online, so I think I'll just wait on not buying this huge anthology, or it wasn't an anthology, like a huge story collection, but I'll have a little bit of regret, but I'm kind of behind. Like, I have a few Erdrich books that I have bought and not yet read, so I thought maybe I should catch up before I add on. Number 25. Okay, I'm cheating. This story was in it last year, but it has lingered in my mind, and I really want to read it again and think about it again and talk about it again, and it is Paul's Case by Willa Cather. So, my rules, my cheating. Number 26, this is another one of the audio stories. It is Caleb Azuma Nelson with White Ferrari. I have a novel of his that I started. It's not a DNF. It's a, oops, my mood's not right. So I put it away, and I need to pick it back up. Number 27, my girl, Emily St. John Mandel with Mr. Thursday. And that is from an anthology. I got this anthology at Recycled Books, the used bookstore I went to in Denton, Texas a couple months ago. And I found out that this was a project by Slate Magazine, and the stories are all online. So there's a couple of stories from this collection. In fact, the Carmen Maria Machado story is in here, and then the Emily St. John, and one more that I'm getting to. Emily St. John and Mandel. William Trevor is number 28, Access to the Children. Everyone always talks about William Trevor. I feel like I have read some things, I don't remember them, and I don't have anything on my shelf by this author. So I am including him. Number 29 is from this collection by Nnedi Okorafor, Mother of Invention. I have seen her name come up in many places, and I have not yet read anything. I believe she is a Nigerian author. And then last but not least, at number 30, Sandra Cisneros with the story 11. And so there you have it. Those are the 30 stories. Last year's 30 stories are down below as well. And so here's my question for you. If I am putting these stories out each day, and maybe I put a little batch in advance with the access, and then I'm making some videos along the way where I discuss the stories, do I need to do anything else? Should I set up a Discord? Or I thought about doing some shorts, but I'm kind of nervous about shorts because they seem to attract a lot of trolls. Anyway, is there something else that I should add to make participation more accessible? Are you interested in joining in and reading some? Are you happy with just putting comments in, below the video discussion or the posts, or do we need something like a Discord? Because I could set one up. I have time. We're not starting until September 1st. So let me know in the comments how interested you are in this project. Are you just going to observe and enjoy? Are you going to read some of the stories? Do you want to discuss? So I'm just trying to get a sense of how much stuff I need to do to make this more fun, and maybe not just me sitting around reading stories, but to have more people to talk to and discuss the story. So, shoot me some comments. And I will be coming up later in the month with the rest of my September TBR, because this sounds like a lot, but it's just one story a day. So it's not really all of my reading in September. But that is it for now. So I just wanted to get the word out. I'm getting excited, and I wanted to share that with you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll be back at the end of the week for Friday Reads. See you then. Bye-bye.